guys, welcome to the Travel Services class number 6. Attention, this is our third video, but it's our class number 6. So, put your headphones or earphones on and let's go. Well, this class is very important because in this one we are going to talk about the phases or the stages to develop a tourist package, right? So also because these stages or these steps are the ones that you need to follow to develop your project, your final project, not just for the class, but for your integrative subject. So let's see what are these steps or these stages. Okay, we're going to see the following slide and then we're going to analyze one by one. Let's see it. The step number 1 or the stage number 1 is the creation or design of the tourist package. The first mistake that we usually make when we create a product is not considering the preferences of the people, right? Sometimes we base the characteristic of our products based on our own likes, our own preferences, but we are not the clients, right? We are not the customers. So we need to know what the customer wants, and we need to know what is the competition that exists in the market, right? Well, first, what do you need to do? You need to define who is your target market. I mean, if you are going to focus your product, right, to the people who live, I mean the local people who live here in Zamora or in the place where you want to place your travel agency, or if you want to base or to focus your product on the visitors, the people who visit this area, and the people who want to know the surroundings. This is up to you, right? Well, after defining what's your target market, you need to apply some polls, some interviews, trying to know what are their preferences and what are the kind of activities and what are the kind of destinations and the tourist attractions that they like. Based on that, you are going to define the points that you want to go to. I mean the destinations that you want to include or the attractions that you want to include in your tourist package, right? Well, remember that in integrative project you are working in tourist attractions inventory. So that information is going to be very, very useful for you because thanks to that you are going to know what are the attractions of this area. I mean the Totonacapan region, right? Not just in the municipalities but in the surroundings, right? Well, also you're going to make an inventory about all the other elements of the tourist system. I mean food and beverages, I mean the industry, food and beverages, right? Accommodation, entertainment elements, okay, and also the superstructure and the infrastructure. Based on that, you are going to create your product, right? Based also on the answers of the people that you interviewed. If they want or if they like to know more about the typical food, what do you think that you need to include in your package? Of course, a typical food restaurant. If the people tell you that they want to visit or they want to practice some adventure tourism activities, you need to look for places where it is possible to practice adventure tourism activities. So we're going to work not just in this project, but based in the project that you are developing in your integrative subject. Well, this is the step number 1. So define the target market, okay? Make a research about their preferences. Based on that information, to define the points or the tourist attractions that you want to include in your tourist package also the activities and the services that you are going to include there, right? So let's go to the point number 2. Well, the point number 2 is planning and structure of the itinerary. What is itinerary? Remember that itinerary is like a schedule that defines the starting point, the time, the activities, all the points to visit, and of course the time for all those elements. It's like a schedule structure, okay? And we're going to see this example. In fact, this is the example that I showed you the last class. Let's see it. Well, this is what you have to do. You need to structure your itinerary. You need to define where you want to start your trip, when, with the specific time, right? And you need to tell the people also how long it is necessary to be in the point. I mean, the time in advance to be in the point before starting the trip, right? And you need to define the time for every part of the trip, okay? The distance from, maybe imagine, from Gutierrez Zamora to El Tajín, just an example. The time that you're going to spend in El Tajín, like listen to an explanation of the archaeological site, maybe going to the stores to buy some souvenirs and or maybe to have the breakfast or a meal inside in that point. Then you need to calculate the time for the distance from one point, from El Tajín to the following point, and this way, right? You need to explain all the time. You need to consider all the time according to all activities and all the points that you are going to visit, right? That is the itinerary, okay? So I'm going to upload some examples of an itinerary in the Classroom platform, right? So please check them out, and based on that, develop your own itinerary, okay? Let's see the following step or the following stage. Well, the stage number 3 is the selection of the suppliers. You have your inventory about the suppliers that exist in the area. Suppliers for food and beverages, for entertainment, for accommodation, etc. You have, what are those suppliers. You have their information, their contact information, and information about the services that they offer. Now, the following part of the work is to call or to contact to those suppliers or the suppliers that you consider that fit with the kind of products that you want to create, right? And to contact them to know what are their prices, okay? What are their rates, yes? Based on that, you're going to know if they have like a special rate for travel agency, or you can make a deal or make an agreement about how you are going to work with them. Okay? Remember that you can work in 2 ways. The first one, if they offer you a preferential price, okay, this is going to allow you to offer to the public, to offer to the people a lower price. If they are offering you a price, you are going. Remember that you need to have an earning. You need to win money with this, right? So it is important to know the price, because you are going to define how much extra are you going to add to that price that is going to be your earnings, right? And the other way is working with commissions. Okay, some suppliers work based on commissions. If you take an amount of people the hotel or to restaurants, they are going to give you a percentage, okay, of the consumption that they are going to have in those establishments. So you need to negotiate with the companies, and you need to negotiate with the suppliers, right, to know what is the benefit that you are going to have. And according to that, you are going to choose the ones that represent a bigger economical benefit for you, because this is a business and you need to earn money, right? So based on that, based on the preferences, based on the activities that you want to include, right, and the points that you are going to include in your tourist package, you are going to select your suppliers, okay? And also based on the service that they offer to you, okay? Well, let's go to the following step. The stage number 4 is the calculation of the trip budget. It is very important to know the cost of the trip. Remember that there is a difference between the cost and the price. The cost is how much money organizing this trip represents for you, right? If you are going to include transportation, how much is cost to you? The same for accommodation, the same for food and beverages, the same for other recreation activities, and also, of course, the insurance. You have your own transportation, and you pay an insurance company, okay, for your travel insurance. You need to include it. Or if you are going to rent transportation and you are going to rent a part and insurance, you need to include it. So you need to consider all the money that you are spending in creating this trip. You need to know how much money this represents for you. I mean, this is your investment. How much money you are investing in this. That is the cost. And the price is that cost plus the benefit, the economical benefit that you are getting from the sale of this trip. That is the price, right? Maybe organizing this trip for you represent, just an example, okay, like 500 pesos per person, okay? So based on that, you're going to define what is the benefit that you want to have for this service, and you decided that you are going to have 20% of the cost as a benefit for you. The 20% of 500 is 100, right? So based on that, the price that you are going to get the people is 600. That is the price. The price is the cost plus the benefit that you are getting from the sale of the trip. Cost, how much money you are investing in the trip. Price, that amount of money plus what you want to earn, the money that you are going to get from the sale, right? And this is per person. It's important to do it per person. If you have your whole cost, I mean the complete cost or the cost of your complete trip, the whole trip, including all the services. Now you are going to divide these, okay, and between all the people that you are going to sell this trip. For example, if you are planning a trip for 45 people or for 40 people, that is the average number of packs that are in a bus. So and your cost, it's like maybe 8,000 pesos is just an example. 8,000 pesos. You are going to divide those 8,000 pesos between the 40 packs that are going to travel in the bus, right? And based on that, you are going to add the benefit to define your price. But it's very important to calculate the budget, because if you don't know how much you are investing, right, you won't know. I mean, it's going to be very, very difficult to have a benefit from this, and it's not going to be a business anymore. It's not going to be profitable, and the profitability is very, very important, because if you are not profitable, you won't survive as a company, right? Well, let's see the following step. This step is the calculation of the break-even point. What the hell is the break-even point? The break-even point is the point of balance when you don't have losses or earnings in the sales of your product. For example, you know your cost, because you already defined your the cost of your trip, right? But now you need to consider the cost of operation of your company, right? This is a little bit more complex, because usually the companies, they don't have just one product, okay? They have many products, and they need to know the cost of the operation, right, of all the company based on all the products that they have, that they offer. But now, to make it easier, we're going to base just in one product. What is that product? Is the tourist package that you are going to create. Well, you know the cost. You already know the cost of your package, right? But now you need to know the cost of the operation of your company. For example, the rental of the place where you have your offices, the rent, okay? The cost of that rent, right? If you have maybe computers or internet connection or some other technological resources, you need to consider the cost of that, okay? And if you pay insurance, you need to consider that. You need to pay, the payment for the staff, for the people who work for you. That is something that you need to take in account. Also, the pay for all the services, like the internet, like the electricity, like the gas, if you have gas supply in your office, right? And everything related to the expenses that you have in your company, right? Once you consider that, okay, and you will know what is exactly the cost that you have for your product, right? Imagine that you have that you define that product costs for you per person the same 500, right? 500 pesos, okay? In total, it goes to you maybe 30,000 pesos, something like that, right? So you need to sell your product, and there will be a point where your sales are going to be equal to the cost of your trip. This is 30,000 pesos. This is 500 pesos per person. One person 500, two person 1,000. Sorry, two people, three people 1,500, four people 2,000, something like that. Okay, but if you sell your product to 60 people, these 60 people are going to be equal to 3,000 pesos. That is the total cost, right, of your operation. In that point, okay, these sales are equal to your cost. This is called the break-even point, because in this point you don't have losses, you are not in red numbers, right, or negative numbers, and you don't have earnings. It is important to define this, because this is the minimum of sales that you need to have, right, to be profitable, or at least to not lose money. One sale after this point is profitability. 2, 3, 4 or more sales after this point okay, is going to make your company profitable. Yes, you need to reach this break-even point, and it's very important to know the amount of sales that you need to have, right, to reach that point. Yes, if you don't reach that point, you are losing money. Yes, so it is important because you will set your goals. You will define your goals based on that. If you know that you need to sell 60 products to reach your break-even point, your goal is going to be to sell maybe 70 or 80 or 100 products, because that is going to represent your earnings. That is going to represent the real benefit that you will have, right, for the from the business that you have, that in this case is a travel agency. Usually, the travel agency or other companies, they have different products, and they need to define the cost of every product, of every package, of every service that they have, and they define their goals and their sales based on that, because they know how much money represent a sale for every service that they offer. In your case, you are going to base this just in one product, that is your package, right? Well, don't worry, guys. This is just an explanation, okay? You are not going to work on this part now, because this is something that your accounting teacher is going to explain you. He or she is going to teach you step by step how to define your break-even point. And well, so we're not going to work on that in this moment, but it is very important that you know what the break-even point. And also, I will upload later a video explaining you the formula to calculate the break-even point with the elements that you need to know about it. But for the moment, you're not going to work on this point. We're going to skip this point. Just this one. Okay? And well, this is going to be a project for the subject, right? And you're going to base the integrated project on this one. But maybe on the way, you are going to change something, because you will have a marketing class. And if your marketing teacher, well, he is going to guide you, he's going to coach you, and he's going to teach you how to define your product well. But you have the experience because you worked on that before, right? Maybe you will just to redefine or to add more destinations or to change something, but you have a base, right? Well, let's see the following stage. The following stage is the design of the brochure. What is a brochure? The brochure is that document that is given to the clients, and it contains all the information, all the features, all the characteristics of the product. That is a brochure. This is an example of a brochure. In fact, this is the same that I showed you in the last class. Well, as you can see in the brochure, you can find all the information about the service. You can find the price, you can find the destinations, you can find the activities, right? There are posters and there are brochures. The posters are an element or a tool to attract the people, because if they see a poster that is attractive, this is promotion for your product, right? This is it's a marketing tool, okay? But in a brochure, the poster is to be attractive, but the brochure is not just to be attractive. It's to be attractive and is to make the people know all the points, all the information, detailed information about the product that they are going to buy, are going to get. In the poster, just basic information, but in the brochure, very, very specific information and very, very detailed information about the product that they are going to get, right? With activities, also with the itinerary, right? So you need to you need to create a brochure. I will upload some examples of brochures for you in the Classroom platform. So please be aware of the Classroom platform, right? And take in account that in the first part of the brochure, you need to have the name for your trip. You need to define a name for your trip, and this name needs to be attractive. For example, adventure experience in the Totonacapan region, right? Or maybe a natural trip to the beach of Tecolutla or something like that, but needs to be very attractive for the people. Okay, so in the first part needs to be the name, right? Also the name of the company with the logotype and a slogan, right? And a very attractive image that represents the product that you are selling. Then in the other part, you are going to include, inside the brochure, you are going to include images of the every destination or the most important places or attractions that you are including in your package. There's going to be also, if not all the itinerary, almost all the itinerary or the principal or the main points, right? All the services that are included and the cost of the trip. And in the back part of the brochure, there is the information about the contact, the social network, or all the ways to contact the company to get the product, okay? But don't worry, you will see the examples in the Classroom platform to start working on that. Okay, let's see the following point. The product presentation. Okay, you will make a presentation of the product. In that presentation, you need to make it very attractive. You are going to talk about all the features, all the information, all the benefit, and the experience that the people is getting by getting your product. Okay. Some travel agencies, they include some elements, some gifts, or some extra benefit as a courtesy to make the product attractive. For example, they usually tell the people, if you get this product before this date, or if you are one of the first 20 people in buying my product, I will give you an extra night, or a courtesy meal, or something like that, right? Or some companies, they offer or they give like t-shirts or some gifts like cups or whatever, right? Or a cap, right? Because these are going to be make the people to be more interested on the product that they are getting. So consider those elements and for your product presentation. Don't worry, I will upload this activity in Classroom, and in the description of the activity you will have all the points that you need to include, right, for your presentation. And in fact, these are the same elements that you need to take in account for your integrative project presentations, plus the information and the elements on what the other teachers want you to do, right? But the basic elements, you will have them in this presentation to have the experience of presenting a product, right? Well, and finally, the following step. Well, the final point is quality control and sales tracking. Remember that the quality is the relationship that exists between the expectations of the people and the final experience that they have with a product or with a company, right? That is going to create a perception, well, an image of the people, of the product or of the company. This can be good or bad, right? So you need to know what are the impressions of these people. How are you going to do that? By creating a quality control tool for post-sales. What is that? It's going to be a client satisfaction questionnaire. That is important for you and for them. It's important for them because it's going to make them feel that their opinion is important. And it's important for you because the information that you will have from them is going to help you to improve your product. They are going to tell you what was good, what was bad, what is important to be considered in the future, if you need to include or not to include some other services, right? Well, and with this, you are going to improve your product and your service. Okay, I will upload an example for this in the platform, and with this, you're going to create a client satisfaction questionnaire. And finally, the sales tracking. What is the sales tracking? This is a strategy to keep your clients, right? What many companies do, they used to send emails to the clients. I mean, they have a database with the contact of the clients, and they send the information for future products. They send them also maybe like courtesy emails, for example, in birthday or in special occasions, right? And it's important because with this, you are going to make them know your new products or your new services, and they are going to be more interested in your company, right? That is well, that is quality control and sales tracking. Well, I hope this was very clear for you. I will upload the elements that I mentioned here in the Classroom platform. If you have any question or doubt, remember we have the WhatsApp, and you can leave a comment in the video to get a participation. Well, that's it for today, guys. I hope you like it, and see you next week, right? Be aware of the platform, because I will be uploading homework and material. Be happy, guys.